Guys, we're gonna throw a little bit of nuance in here, okay? This is a topic that I want to talk about, and it'd be more like a mini rant. But a lot of people are talking about how the San Antonio Spurs are so worse than they were last season, and there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse humanly possible that anyone can come up with on why the San Antonio Spurs get Wembanyama and they become a worse team. How do you become a worse team after getting 19-year-old Victor Wembanyama? Well, I want to talk about that because there is actually something that I think a lot of people forget, and they forgot real quick once the trades happened and once we actually got Wemby, and I wanted to talk about that. But before we do, here is a quick, concise message from the sponsor of this video.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
Okay, so BetUS, guys, please, for the love of God, check out BetUS. Link in my description. You'll receive 125% bonus. What does that mean? If you put in $100, you get $125 to play with. And there's so many different things that you can bet on. It's super simple. You just go to BetUS here. You can type in even the team as a whole if you want. Spurs not playing tonight because they just played. But if I type in my Cowboys, actually, I already typed in Cowboys earlier. Sorry. You can even do it from here. So you can go to Cowboys. And from here, there's so many different things. You can bet on who's the first to score. You can bet on first scoring play of the game, team to score longest touchdown. So many different things. Now, if you go to NBA, if you want to do something Spurs related that's not during an actual game day, you can there's a few things Spurs related, but mostly Western Conference winner and NBA championship winner. And I would probably encourage you not to make this bet. If you want, that's fine. I get accused of being a homer. You are the ultimate homer. But there's so many other teams that's probably more beneficial for you. But if you were to do the Spurs, okay, I think the Spurs are going to win the championship, and our odds just got worse, by the way. I just realized that. So let's say I'm like, oh yeah, Spurs going to go all. I bet $25 on that. Well, you will win $25,000. If the Spurs were to win the NBA championship this year, $25 will get you $25,000. Okay, you will be the god of betting. I don't know. I wouldn't make that bet. But there's so many different things. Over, under, and rebounds. Over, under, assists for specific games as well. Great stuff. Shout out to BetUS for not only sponsoring this video, but this live stream, and for the channel as a whole for the remainder of the season. Great stuff. Good stuff. Love it. Once again, guys, link in my description. Receive 125% bonus. All right. Okay. Enough of that. I want to talk to you guys about this. Listen. So the Spurs offensive rating is the worst in the NBA. Okay. All right. We all know that. We're good with that. Are we content with that? I know we're not. As far as defensive rating, let's see. I actually don't know this. So by the way, defensive rating, the lower the better. Offensive rating, the higher the better. The Spurs are 24th. So we're near the bottom as far as defensive rating as well. So, and I'm pretty sure that's Wemby holding us up. Now that's the question. How do you get Wemby and you become a worse team? I guess the question first off is the Spurs a worse team than they were last season? Yeah, they are. Now, with that being said, there is a reason for it. So if we go back to the San Antonio Spurs last season, there's one thing that stands out, okay? If you go through game to game to game, because I remember this, okay? I remember complaining about this like insanely. And I remember people getting angry with me around November because I was like, the Spurs are winning too many games right off the bat. Popovich, stop playing your veterans. And what do I mean by that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Spurs had a lot of veterans. And there's one guy in particular that the Spurs had that it was driving me nuts that we played him so often. It was Josh Richardson. And the Spurs ended up working out because they kind of increased his value even more. And then they got a bunch of second round picks for him. But Josh Richardson was the guy. Like he's a veteran, 29 years old. He was absolutely killing for us. And not only that, having a veteran on the team like him helps in so many different ways. He can kind of reel it in a little bit. If the young guys get kind of out of whack, he can just reel it back in. And Popovich played him way too often. I was actually complaining because I felt like Popovich wasn't tanking hard enough. Real talk. You can see even in the second game of the season, he was the highest points leader. A few games later, he was the highest assist leader. He was heavily involved with this team. Not only that, Jakob Poeltl, he was constantly helping because he was a really good pillar for this squad as well. And as the season went on, that's what it was. And they've played together quite a bit. Now, as the season went on, also, Vassell got hurt, and we know that. So this season, this is kind of the first season that we've been able to get a healthy dose of Vassell. Now, he played quite a few last season, but after that injury, it was just not the same. But I think people are missing that. They're missing the fact that we had vets last season. That makes a huge difference. Now, in 3 years, you say 3 years. In 3 years, it wouldn't matter. You know why? Because at that point, Wemby would be like 20, 21, 22 years old, right? Wemby would be 22. He'll be nowhere near his prime, but he'll be, at least a more pillar for the team and everything. And you won't necessarily have this crazy need. You always kind of need a veteran, but like this insane need for a veteran just to prop you up. And I feel like the Spurs were propped up by their veterans. And that was something that people missed quite often, is that they were constantly propped up by their veterans. And I hate that that's something that people don't bring up or people don't mention at all, because I don't know. It kind of missed what happened last season, Bro, the sound's getting choppy. Oh, is the stream choppy? I think it's back now. I saw that it got a little weird. I think it's back now though. Just refresh. So that's something that people are missing. And if you look at a comparison from last season in our vets to this season, it's a huge difference. So the players that they included here, Doug McDermott, he's a good veteran, but he's not necessarily in the position that we would need that can kind of hold it down or help that fort a little bit. Josh Richardson, more of kind of a combo guard, definitely helped. Reggie Bullock, actually, I don't know why they're including him. But Reggie Bullock, he was also on the squad. No, it wasn't Reggie Bullock. Stanley Johnson, that was the player that I forgot. We had Stanley Johnson on the squad for a while too. So we just had players that really helped this team in aspects that I don't think that people are necessarily considering. I know that on paper, you get a generational talent like Wemby, and it's like everything is fixed. Well, no, you got to figure out how to play with this type of player. You never seen this player before in your life. You got to figure out where you fit into the offense. I mean, we got right now Malachi Branham finally kind of coming into his own on what he's good at. He's not a catch and shoot player. That's not who he is. But now he can finally, take over that role a little bit at being point guard and everything. But you still getting lazy passes because he's young and making mistakes. Devin Vassell, we're finally getting a healthy dose of him being the main guy. And that's another thing people forget. When Devin Vassell was playing with DeJounte Murray, people completely forgot the fact that he wasn't like a shot creator with DeJounte Murray. Devin Vassell was more of a catch and shoot role. The same role that Malachi had for a few weeks during this season. So it's a lot of adjustments these guys are making. And when you don't have veterans to help prop you up or hold this thing together a little bit, this is what happens. It happens to super young teams all the time. But I don't see this Spurs team that has no direction or anything like that. I don't see that. I don't see it. I just think that they're missing some pieces and they're missing that experience. That's what I think is going on right now. Now, with that being said, there's actually a player. Hold on. I hate that they just included everybody. Like, just include who's active right now. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, so I was going to say, because I saw someone in the chat say trades. I said it before, but I would not mind the Spurs saying, hey, let's get some package together, maybe with Doug McDermott, Devontae Graham, see if we can make something happen there, maybe some second round picks and see what you can get. I'm not jumping on trading Keldon or Sohan. I think that's crazy to say. But yeah, the entire Spurs fan base hates Keldon at this point. I don't think so. Do you guys think that? I don't think that. I don't think that's true. I think people love Keldon. I think the entire Spurs fan base hates Sohan, not Keldon. Yeah, I don't know about Keldon. I think Keldon's highly liked, actually. People love Keldon. I mean, anytime I say anything negative about Keldon, people get upset with me. So I think fans as a whole really like Keldon. Keldon is solid, just inconsistent. Yeah. Well, Keldon is very consistent in what he does. I know this is a little off topic. He's very consistent in what he does. It's just you're way too consistent in what you do, right? Like Keldon attacking the basket. That's great when it's one-on-one, right? It's like, yeah, that's great. Like you probably have, I mean, I'm not looking at the numbers here, but if it's one-on-one matchup, you probably got a 70% chance of who's going to stop Keldon one-on-one, that freight train coming to going to the rim. Like who's going to stop? He's too strong. He's called big body for a reason. But then the problem with Keldon is that he'll do it. It works. He'll do it again. It works. He do it again. It works. The team adjusts. He do it again and gets blocked. He do it again and it's a turnover. He do it again. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, it could be one-on-one or it could be 3-on-1 and he's still doing it. He's consistent, but we can't have you doing that, man. And then he can't really defensively, he's not really there, so he can't make it up defensively, really. But I love Keldon, by the way. I love Keldon. Keldon is making me a believer. I can see a future with Keldon Johnson being on this team. Like I can see a clear future where he benefits the team tremendously. So, like, I love Keldon. And if the Spurs were to trade him, you get something good, all right? It needs to be worth our while. And I think that his value is very high, not only with his contract, but teams notice. His stats, teams notice. They notice. He needs to be a Spur for life. We'll see by the end of the season how we feel, you know, as far as who's going to be a Spur for life. I mean, right now, the only player that's a sure bet is Wemby. And maybe Devin, you know, I'm a Spurs fan first. All right. And you guys know, I love Jeremy Sohan. Okay. I would be very upset. Just like Derek White, when we traded him, I'll be upset, but I'm a Spurs fan first. Like I'm not going to trip about it. Right. So no matter what they decide to do, if it's a good decision, I'll be objective and say that was a good decision. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I got completely off topic. But I just wanted to say that was something that I think a lot of people forget is that, yes, the team was better last season, but it's due to those vets. Like, we were propped up. We were propped up quite a bit. And as soon as the Spurs took the bandage off, this is the product that you get. Because your boy Josh Richardson didn't get traded till February, I think. And from there, I believe the Spurs went 7 in... Shoot. Let's see. He was traded near February at some point. And they won, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 games. They won about 8 games after he got traded. Still a lot of L's, but they won a few. Yeah. But anyways, I think that's something that people need to keep in mind too. He propped us up. At this point in the season, last season, he just propped us up. And let's not act like we were like that great of a team. Look, December 12th. Yeah, this is right around where we're at. Like, even this game, literally, look, there's Richardson right there. At this point in the season, we had a win. A year ago, we had a win. It would have been about a year ago, okay? Like, almost exactly a year ago. We had a win. Look who had the most points. And I remember, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I remember being pissed off about this. And I remember people like calling me crazy. Because I kept saying, let's try to tank. Why is Pop playing? Because people say I don't complain about Pop. I was complaining about Pop during this rebuild or during this tank. I was like, Pop, stop playing vets. Take the bandage off and let's lose. Now, at the end of the day, was it the best decision? I mean, yeah. I mean, we got Wemby out of it. It's fine. It worked. and we got a stupid amount of second round picks for Josh Richardson. So it worked. But at the same time, I was very frustrated at this point in the season because I was like, man, we can't screw around. We can't screw around and try to make a play in. All right, we need to lose. And Josh Richardson is making it very hard to lose. But also a lot of these games too, like not a ton of them were close. Let's see. Yeah, these are a lot of blowouts, guys. I don't know. Hold on. Let's compare. We'll compare and then we'll get out of here. Let's see. Spurs. We'll type in Spurs game log 2023. I just don't think that is as bad as people think it is. It sucks. Were we a better team last season? Technically, but it was because we were propped up. You take away those vets, we're a worse team last season, I think. But you add those vets to this squad, and we're better. We're a better team than we were last season. Why is this taking so long to load? Why is everything working against me today? 18 losses in a row is crazy. It is crazy. Dude, why is it doing this? All right, hold on. Spurs game logs. Let's just go to Fox Sports. No? Nothing's working. Okay, nothing wants to work for me today. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's compare. Let's see. We'll count. At this point of the season, how many blowout losses did the Spurs experience? 1. Would you say 12? Hold on. I need to know this. We need to all be on the same page. Chat. Would 12 points, losing by 12 points, be considered a blowout? I usually like to go with 15 to 20-ish. What do you think? Is 12? Yes? No? Has to be 15 or more? No? Yes? Yes? Wait, Don, you answered already. No? Okay. Okay. Look, it's one of those things where you know it when you see it, all right? Okay. I'm not going to say this is a blowout. I don't feel like it's a blowout. I'm not going to count it. So we'll count 1 blowout. Definitely a blowout. Oh my God. I don't remember that. 2. No. 3. No. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 10. They had 10 blowouts. 10 blowouts at this point in the season. All right, let's see how many of the Spurs have had this season. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I want to count that? I'm not counting that. 5. 6. 6. We're at the same spot we were last season. I mean, as far as blowout losses. Yeah, 43 point. Yeah, that's that. Nothing tops that. That's a crazy lot. I don't even remember that. That's like ancient history right now. Like now that we have Wemby, it's like ancient history. But most were competitive. Yeah. So both 6 losses and wait, what? Memphis lost a blowout. Did I not count Memphis loss? I don't think I counted it. We can do 7, whatever. It's still around the same. We can say 7 this season, 6 last. And I think that people just have a little bit of revisionist history, which I do think that this team was a little better. But, I mean, at this point of the season, obviously. But I think that it really came down to vets propping you up. That's all it came down to. But, yeah, I don't think they're as bad as you think. And Wemby is 19, all right? Never played in the NBA before. So, yeah. Done with this segment. Done.